before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on the rarest and most fascinating coins we're uncovering every week. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to want to dig through every drawer, jar, and old coin box you've got stored away. Now, let's take a trip back in time. It's the year 1968. The world's changing fast. The space race is in full swing. The Beatles are still topping the charts. And while all that's going on, in the southern tip of Africa, something small but remarkable is being minted. A coin, just a single cent. But not just any cent. A 1-cent coin that today, if you're lucky enough to hold it in your hands, could be worth thousands. That's right. One single coin, once worth a bite of bread or a piece of candy, now fetching a price tag you won't believe. But before we get to that, let's talk about why this coin matters. This isn't just a piece of bronze. This coin carries a story. It's a whisper from the past. Every scratch, every worn edge, it tells you it's been through hands, through pockets, through years of a country's history. South Africa in 1968 was a land of contrast and tension. Apartheid was still the law of the land, and coins like this were in every citizen's hand, no matter where they stood in society. It bought newspapers, gum, maybe even a glass of milk. And yet here we are, more than half a century later, and suddenly this humble coin has become a collector's dream. What makes it so special? Why is this 1 cent, out of all the coins out there, rising to such value today? Well, it's not just age that gives it power. It's rarity and detail. See, the 1968 1-cent coin was part of a specific series that carried the image of Jan van Riebeeck, the Dutch settler considered one of the founders of colonial South Africa. On the reverse, the coin shows 2 tiny sparrows perched on a branch, so small and delicate, you almost need a magnifying glass to admire the craftsmanship. That kind of detail just isn't made anymore. Now here's where things get really interesting. Not all 1968 coins are the same. Some were struck in extremely low numbers. Some were minted with slight variations, either in the spacing of the letters or the depth of the strike. And those tiny imperfections? That's what collectors go wild for. Because those little flaws mean limited editions. And limited editions mean value. Scarcity is the name of the game in numismatics. And this coin checks every box. But there's more to this story than just rarity. There's the hunt, the joy of discovery. You know the feeling, finding an old box in the attic, the one you forgot you had. Inside, a tin filled with coins. Some are dull, some are foreign, some you haven't seen in decades. And then, you pick one up. It's bronze, dated 1968. South African. Could it be? Is it the one? That rush, that possibility, is why this world of coins still grips so many men even after all these years. Because it's not just about the money. It's the memories. It's history. It's the story. And maybe that's why this coin speaks especially to men in their 50s, 60s, and beyond. You grew up in a time when coins mattered more than they do now. When change wasn't just digital numbers on a screen. You could feel it. Hear it clink in your pocket. Save it in jars. Trade it for treats. It meant something. And now, decades later, these same coins are coming back to surprise you. One by one, they're revealing their worth. And this particular one, the 1968 South African 1-center, has risen to become one of the most sought-after coins in its class. Not because it's flashy, not because it's gold, but because it's rare, it's rich in history, and it carries the kind of unexpected value that turns heads at every auction it appears in. Collectors around the world are watching for this one. They're bidding. They're searching. Because they know what I'm about to tell you. So if you're watching this and wondering whether it's time to go through your old collections, let me answer that for you. Yes. Now is the time. Check your drawers, your boxes, your closets. Look inside those old wallets and under your furniture. You never know where these coins have ended up. And if you happen to find one, if you hold a 1968 South African 1-center coin in good condition, then listen closely, because this little bronze coin, once worth a fraction of $1, has now sold for as much as $16,900. That's right, $16,900. From 1 cent to nearly 17 grand. All tucked away in a coin most people wouldn't look at twice. So, What are you waiting for? Subscribe now, check your collection, and stay tuned. Because the next coin we talk about might just be sitting in your hand. Before we begin, take a moment and hit that subscribe button. If you're a man who appreciates history, legacy, and the thrill of finding something rare in the everyday, you're in the right place. This channel is where stories are told through metal, and today's story might just blow your mind. Now close your eyes for a second. Imagine reaching into your pocket, into a drawer, or into a forgotten old wallet tucked away in a box. You pull out a coin. Just a coin. 5 Rand. Dated 2007. Seems ordinary. Feels solid. You flip it between your fingers. You hear that ring. The weight of history in your hand. But what if I told you that this very coin might be worth a fortune? Let me take you back. The year is 2007. South Africa, a country rich in culture and resilience, issues a 5 Rand coin. Bimetallic. Tough. Designed for daily life. But not all coins are created equal. Some are mass-produced, spent in taxis and shops, passed from hand to hand. Others were never meant to see the inside of a pocket. Some coins were minted under special conditions, using special machines, in very limited quantities. Some coins tell a deeper story. On one side of this coin, a proud wildebeest charges across the metal, full of motion and wild energy. It represents the spirit of South Africa, unstoppable, strong, proud. On the other, the national coat of arms, engraved with precision and authority. But the magic of this coin is not in its design alone. It's in its secrets. Small details, tiny differences, the kind that collectors spend years chasing. The kind that turn pocket change into priceless treasure. Most people would look at this coin and see just another piece of metal. But not you. You're different. You know how value hides in plain sight. You know that in the world of coins, condition matters, rarity matters, and most of all, the story behind it. Now let me paint you a picture. Among the millions of 5 Rand coins minted in 2007, a very small number were made using a historic press. A press with its own legendary story. These coins have a special marking, a tiny set of letters barely visible to the naked eye. If you have one of those coins, you're not just holding money. You're holding history. And history is valuable. There were also proof editions made. Not for circulation. Not for spending. These were crafted like fine jewelry, struck with care, mirror-sharp surfaces, and made in extremely low numbers. These proof coins were stored in velvet boxes, not pockets. The kind of coin you show, not spend. The kind of coin collectors dream of finding. Now let's talk about condition. If your coin is scratched, worn, dull, it's just a coin. Maybe a few bucks to the right person. But if your 5 Rand is flawless, untouched, mint state, suddenly, it's a different conversation. Now we're talking serious interest. Now the collector's eyes start to widen. I want you to think back. Did you ever put aside a shiny coin because it looked special? Did your father? Your grandfather? Sometimes treasures are passed down without anyone realizing it. You might have inherited more than memories. You might have inherited money disguised as metal. Some men collect stamps. Some collect watches. Others collect moments. And what's more powerful than holding a moment in time? Cast in steel and nickel, frozen forever? A coin isn't just currency. It's a snapshot, a relic, a monument small enough to fit in your palm. Oh, how much is this coin really worth? If it's just a regular one, worn from years of hands and tills, not much. $1 or $2, enough to buy a coffee. But if it's in perfect condition, uncirculated, maybe it jumps to 10, maybe 20. Still sounds modest. But here's the twist. If your 5 Rand from 2007 is one of the extremely rare variants, one of the coins struck on that special press, or a proof edition never meant to circulate, or a gold version that was privately issued in tiny quantities, then everything changes. These are the coins that collectors fight over. These are the coins that sell in private auctions. These are the coins that whisper to the right buyer, "You'll never find another." And sometimes, in rare, extraordinary cases, stories emerge of coins selling for prices that defy belief. Whispers in the coin world of deals done behind closed doors. A collector with deep pockets. A one-of-a-kind specimen. A connection to a president. A coin passed from hand to hand through decades. And suddenly, what was once worth 5 rand is worth a small fortune. And yes, there have been claims, wild claims, that a 2007 5 rand sold for $2 million. Could it be true? Is it possible? In the world of collectibles, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. Sometimes the value isn't just in the coin, but in the story, in the hype, in the chase. Now let me be clear. Not every 5 rand coin is worth a fortune. Most aren't. But if you're lucky enough to hold the right one, in pristine condition, rare variant, with a story behind it, then you might be sitting on a treasure that could change your life. Or at least make it a little more interesting. So go check. Dig through your drawers. Ask your parents. Look in your old coin jars. Examine every detail. And if you find that special one, keep it safe. Don't polish it. Don't spend it. You might just own something more valuable than gold. And to those still wondering, yes, some claim their 2007 5 rand is worth $2 million. Is it hype? Is it real? Only the market decides. But one thing's certain, it won't be the last time a small coin creates a big story. That if you enjoyed this journey into forgotten value and hidden treasure, don't forget to subscribe. More secrets await. More stories buried in metal. And who knows, maybe the next coin we talk about will be the one sitting right in your pocket. Before we dive in, hit the subscribe button right now if you enjoy discovering the hidden stories and surprising values of old coins. Trust me, what you're about to hear might just change the way you look at your coin collection forever. Now let me show you something that seems ordinary, but might just be extraordinary. A 10-cent coin from South Africa, dated 1978. You've probably seen one like it before. Small, silver-colored, not too different from a regular dime. Nothing flashy, nothing that screams valuable. But sometimes, value hides in plain sight. Let's step back for a moment. The year is 1978. South Africa is a country under tension. Political unrest is boiling beneath the surface. But while the world was watching headlines, something small but significant was being quietly pressed into metal. This coin. This 10-cent piece is made of nickel, weighs just over 4 grams, and has a diameter of about 20.7 millimeters. On one side, the proud coat of arms. On the reverse, the image of an aloe plant, sharp, spiky, and unmistakably African. It's a symbol not just of nature, but of survival, toughness, and beauty in harsh places. Millions of these coins were struck. By all accounts, this coin is not rare in the traditional sense. It was meant to be used, spent, forgotten. And most were tossed in pockets, lost in drawers, worn down to smooth metal. But a few, just a few, managed to escape. Imagine one of these coins being set aside the year it was minted. Never touched, never circulated. Just quietly stored in a collection, wrapped in paper, shielded from the air, light, and time. That coin doesn't just survive, it stays frozen in time. Mint condition. That's where the magic begins. You see, collectors don't just chase coins. They chase perfect coins. Coins that look like they were struck yesterday. Coins that show every line, every letter, every detail, as crisp as the day they left the mint. And when a coin like this is found in such pristine condition, everything changes. But there's more to this story. Because some coins from 1978 may have left the mint with differences. Subtle ones. A double strike. A slightly misaligned die. An error in lettering. These mistakes, unnoticed at the time, become treasures decades later. Error coins are some of the most sought-after pieces in the collector world, and when combined with excellent condition, they can turn into serious money. Now I want to be clear, not every 1978 10-cent coin is worth thousands. Most, especially those that saw years of circulation, are worth only face value or a few dollars at best. But every now and then, a unicorn appears. Let's say you find a coin with no scratches, no dirt, no fingerprints. It shines under the light. The lines are sharp. You turn it in your fingers and notice something odd, a slight misalignment or doubling in the lettering. That's not just an old coin anymore. That's a conversation starter, a headline, a possible record breaker. And then there's rarity. Not the rarity of mintage, but the rarity of survival. Out of the millions made, How many are left in near-perfect condition? How many also show signs of a mint error? Maybe just a handful. Maybe one. That's when collectors pull out the checkbooks. That's when auctions heat up. That's when prices go from reasonable to unbelievable. You might be wondering, how do I know if I have one of these special coins? First, handle it carefully, by the edges only. No cleaning. Ever. Cleaning a coin, even with the best intentions, can erase thousands in value. Next, look closely under a magnifying glass if possible. Check for signs of errors. Lettering, alignment, edge differences, any flaws in the design. Then, compare its condition. Is the surface shiny? Are the details sharp? Are the rims full and even? The fewer the flaws, the higher the potential value. Now here's where things get really interesting. There are collectors, dealers, and investors out there who specialize in coins like this. They're constantly hunting for the next big find. And when they see something truly unique, they don't hesitate. Over the years, similar coins from other countries and years, coins once seen as worthless, have fetched tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands at auction. One such 10-cent South African coin, under the right conditions, has been valued as high as $142,000. Yes, you heard that right. $142,000 for a coin that most people would walk right past. That number isn't random. It comes from actual market interest, potential rarity, collector demand, and past examples of other seemingly common coins shattering expectations. So here's what I want you to do. Check your old coin jars. Go through your drawers. Look at that little box of change you haven't touched in years. That one coin sitting in the corner might not be junk. It might be gold in disguise. Take your time. Examine every detail. Don't rush, because it only takes one rare example to change everything. And if you find something promising, get it graded by a professional. Store it carefully. You might just be holding on to something truly special. So before you toss aside that old 10-cent coin, remember this. The ordinary often hides the extraordinary. And the next great discovery might be in your hand right now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. And yes, under the right conditions, this very coin, the 1978 South African 10 cent, has reached an estimated value of $142,000.